it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. Check out these prompts for this week. Now, I am doing a Willy Wonka theme, and some weeks I have like all kinds of ideas. It seems like the themes come to me easier. So I grabbed my stack and I actually did a few while I was in the flow of connecting the dots, if you will. So I have like the next 4 weeks planned out, but I only did one. So here is what I'm working with this week. I went to the internet and I decided that I was going to do a Willy Wonka inspired spread for this week's collage prompts. This is the Margaret Miller weekly collage prompts, and it's an annual challenge. It's so much fun. Okay, I have this brayer, and you can see, I'm just putting the ink directly on the brayer. And I'm getting a texture as if I've gel printed, but I'm not having to gel print. I really like the effect that I'm getting here, and it's just a simple background. I just wanted to lay some color down, break the white page so I could create this Wonka scene. I brought in a different green. What greens are these? I don't know. They're greens. I think they're both Catherine Pullers are the ones that I used. It doesn't really matter what you use, but I will tell you, if you want to brayer ink, please use the Tim Holtz brayers. I have a few different brayers, and then no, they're not all the same. You don't get the same results from every brayer, but the Tim Holtz brayers are soft and they're great for ink brayering. Just a little tip for you. I'm fussy cutting out Gene Wilder. I grew up on his movies, you guys. I have a huge soft spot in my heart for Gene Wilder. I mean, I just do. I saw a documentary of his on him a couple of years ago, and I just teared up. Like, it was just, I don't know. I think he was a really intelligent and articulate and masterful actor. I just have a lot of respect for him. So he's going to be the star of the show, the light of this collage. So light was one of the prompts, and I'm using light in a few ways. So like he's the light of it all. You know, he really lit up that set and made that movie what it was to me. Of course, not downplaying anyone else, but yes. This whole idea of Willy Wonka came to me based on the prompt of a coupon or ticket, I think was the way it was stated. And I thought, oh, a golden ticket. So that's how I even got to the place of Willy Wonka. Another prompt for this week are circles, and I'm going to have a whole lot of circles for you guys. This is kind of the scene that I had in mind. I love that scene when they first come inside of the factory and everything's edible and amazing, and I just love that scene, but I love the whole movie. So I grabbed my scraps, and I thought these had that retro 70s color vibe to them. So I chose these, and I'm just bringing in my circle punch. This is a 1-inch punch, punching out a whole lot of circles. I'm going to make the lollipop trees, and do you know that ball that he kicks? And we know it's like an inflated beach ball that's painted really beautifully, right? But like, when I was a child, that him kicking that, because to me, I guess in my mind, I thought it was a dense object, and they kicked it and it like floated and bounced, and I was like, whoa, I don't know. I remember that being like a mind-blowing thing. I loved how he kind of danced and moved through the scene, and so that's what I'm recreating here. I've got some mushrooms that I'm going to add into the scene, of course. One of the other prompts was red rubber stamping, and red ink. I was trying to think. I don't have the prompts in front of me, so I'm trying to recall this. And so I actually will be doing that as well. Okay, I have this paper. I'll leave it linked down below. It was less than $4 through Amazon, and I wanted to try it out for my junk journals because you get a ton of paper for $4. It's really thin. I actually really like the texture of it. It doesn't tear too easily, but it's thin. It and it's not as crunchy as like a lunch bag. So it reminds me of a brown paper lunch bag, but it's not. It's different. It's really interesting. I'll leave it linked. Anyways, this is going to be my chocolate waterfall and river that goes through the scene, and I'm going to start creating my scene here. And I just, obviously, I'm just tearing this out, and it kind of works perfectly to create the scene. I had always thought of fussy cutting out Willy Wonka like that and putting him behind the ticket. I am using my favorite glue stick. I've tried so many brands, and this is the one that I've decided that I trust the most to actually stick and stay. And this is the Scotch Craft Create, something like that. I don't even know what it's called, but it's good. It's by Scotch. It's very smooth, as you can see here, because this paper would show if it was goopy or something like that. It's not. It's very sticky. I really do like it. It's a little pricey, but you know, the good things usually are. I don't know what else to say. The good things usually are. All right, so I'm going to start building my composition here with my mushrooms and my circles, which are going to be trees eventually. And then those green balls are going to be like the fruit that was on the ground that he kicked during that scene. If you remember the mushrooms, the spots on the mushrooms had flavor, and they dipped their hands into them. It was like Cool Whip or something. So I put those on there. This is Lost Shadow. I'm loving this color, you guys. This is the new Tim Holtz color. This color is absolutely gorgeous on ivory paper. Gorgeous. Now my pad, it's brand new. This ink pad, this ink color just came out, and my ink pad is brand new, and for some reason it's really dry. Thank goodness I ordered the re-inker. I don't always order a re-inker as soon as I order an ink pad, but in this case I ordered the re-inker because I kind of wanted to maybe try some mixed media with the color and do different things with it. But thank goodness I have it, because the ink pad needed it. I had to re-ink it. It happens sometimes. I have other Distress Oxide spray or ink pads that I've had them for years and they're still super juicy. So I don't know, luck of the draw, or maybe it's each color probably has to have a slightly different formula, but it's fine. You guys, I love these pens from the Dollar Tree. This INC precision pens, they draw so beautifully. Like, I tried 3 different pens to go over this Lost Shadow ink, and I struggled with it. But this one just glided right across. And what that is the wall of the waterfall. So the chocolate waterfall has a real rocky wall that it's cascading off of, and that's what I was creating there. I decided to distress around the mushroom caps and on the stems of them. Really glad I did this. I think it just helps give them dimension and pop off the page a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it always kind of, for my no dies, no problem, when I'm just kind of making things up and cutting things out of paper, I feel like when I distress them, it really makes them better. Somehow, some way, it always makes them better. So like this is a Distress Oxide ink pad that I've had forever, and it's way juicy. So I don't want to give, a bad impression of it's just my lost shadow was really dry. Okay, so there is my rubber stamping in red ink, which is on this patterned paper, and it's kind of really different to be like, I'm showing y'all how juicy this is, or at least I'm trying. But the patterns on the lollipops in Willy Wonka were really different. So I had printed up that one image on that other sheet of paper as a reference, and yeah, they were just different. And so I think this works. This works for a Willy Wonka page. So I just start kind of tacking things down. When I'm gluing things down on collage, I try to remember. I don't always, but it's very different from card making, where like in collage, I really only want to tack it down sometimes. I just want to get it, I want it on the page. I want it, there. But if I'm doing a lot of layering, I don't want to put glue all over it because I might want to tuck things behind it. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be layering, which is what collage is to me, then you've got to leave yourself some space to tuck things above, behind, things like that. Here comes some more light, if you will, into the collage. I wanted the golden path that they all meander on as they move through the scene of this movie. And so I'm using this scrap piece of Tim Holtz metallic paper. This is my favorite metallic paper, you guys. I love it so much. It is craft cardstock on one side and metallic on the other. It comes in lots of colors, and I just adore this paper. I need to see if he's even still selling it, and if so, I should probably go ahead and get another, because I know they do retire the papers and things like that. But one of the things I love about it is that I can texturize it with like a nail file. So I always keep a nail file on my desk, and I'm just going to scuff up the edges. I didn't want it to be just that pristine metallic. I wanted it to have more texture. So I just scuffed it up with that nail file. And here it probably doesn't look that bright, or like might not see how I would equate this to light as it was listed in the prompts. But when the light hits it, it is very reflective and beautiful. And so that works for me. So now I've got Willy Wonka. I'm getting him added to it. I'm going to add these lollipop trees and really start getting things going here. I just love how this collage came together. When I was a little girl, I would always want like a Hershey's bar. When I would watch Willy Wonka, I would always want some chocolate. And my dad was just sweet enough to make that happen for me. So, he'd go to the corner store, buy me a candy bar, buy me some chocolate so I could watch Willy Wonka. So when I was making this collage, now I'm a grown-up, pat myself on the back for this one moment where I was like, I have truffles in the kitchen, but I won't go get one. I'll just have this sweet childhood memory of eating chocolate. I don't have to eat the chocolate when I make the collage. I'm trying to implement a little more discipline in my life, you guys. Any other day, I would have been like, it's tradition. I'm not breaking tradition. I need to go get the chocolate. Oh, geez. So now I'm going to add these little tiny circles on, and I had lost one in the making, so I had to punch myself another one. No big deal. And I thought I wanted the bright blue, and then I changed my mind and I wanted the other side. So, one of the other prompts for this collage was something written in pencil. And I went on and found a quote So there's a lot of quotes from the movie, but the one that really touched my heart that day that I wanted to put into this collage also was about light. Um, and so it was, now I'm just trying to recollect what it was. It's about being the light in a weary world. I'll have to look it up. I'll add it in. But we're just going to keep going. So I will end up using a pencil and writing that into that chocolate river. And now here's a really interesting part. So and here is this 6 mil thick transparency paper, or, binding sheets. And they're pretty thin, and I thought maybe it'll go through a punch, but I was really doubting it, and sure enough, it's not going to. But before I even put it through the punch, I bring in an alcohol marker to color it. And what I really wanted was that plastic feeling, because there was always a little bit of that, in the scene of the movie. You could tell things were made out of plastic, right? And so I really kind of wanted that catchy bit of like green plastic leaves. I thought that would be fun. And as much of a pain as it was, sometimes those details are completely worth the tedious nature of making them. So I tried to punch it out. That didn't work. Then I was like, okay, let me just cut some blades of grass, and with my scissors, and I really didn't like those either. Like, I took this pile to the page, and I just didn't really like that either. So then I thought, die cutting. I'm going to die cut leaves out of this green plastic. And with my sidekick, it just didn't work. I ran it through 4 times, and it just would not, it didn't have the pressure in that little machine to cut through it. So I ran it, you can see here, I ran it through 4 times, and it still didn't cut through. So then I used my scissors, which is fine. I had a very clear guide of where to cut. I fussy cut those. But then I was like, let me try it in my Gemini Junior, and it just cut right through like butter. No problem. It had, and again, I don't think that's a fault of the sidekick. I think it's just a pressure thing. And the Gemini Junior had enough pressure to cut these out. So now I have lots of them. And I go in and add these to the page. And I honestly feel like these green plastic leaves brought the entire collage together. I think it made it everything I wanted it to be, and was worth the struggle. It was worth the experimentation and struggle. And so I put some of those up on that rock wall and all around the collage. And I love the way that they just it was just perfect. It was just the perfect touch for me. And these catch a lot of light. They're very reflective as well. So there's definitely light in this collage. Encourage you to follow the hashtag and see what others are making. There's so many wonderful collage artists out there who use these prompts, but not only do they make collage, but they make junk journals and other paper crafts as well. I found a couple that I really love, My Vagabond Style, Nellie and Ruth, and others. There's just, lots of people still yet to discover. If you're enjoying this, and then of course Margaret Miller herself, the woman who set all of this up, if you're enjoying this collage series and how I'm doing it, you may really enjoy finding some others out in the community as well. So here is where I'm writing in the quote. I will come back in and add it. I just can't remember what it says. in this voiceover. Oh, I'm so professional. But it's about being the light in a weary world. And wow, our world can feel very weary sometimes. Am I right? So that is it. I am finished with my collage. So I glue my prompts onto the back. And here it is completed. I know I hit all of the so shines something. Be the good. Be the good, everyone. But yeah, I hit all the prompts. They're all there. And it was a lot of fun. And the child inside of me is totally celebrating that I made a Willy Wonka page. Like, she's giving me high fives. She's feeling it. I'm feeling it. I hope you enjoyed it and that you get to go and craft and make something fun today that maybe your inner child is wanting you to make. So have a wonderful day. I will see you again next time. Bye.